morning! Thank you for tuning into my channel. What you're seeing on screen right now is my breakfast. Nothing too crazy, just some eggs with cheese on a tortilla and a side of almond milk. Pretty basic. After eating breakfast, Nugget and I hung out for a bit. He's been on edge recently, so it was nice to have some calm cuddle time with him. I'm not sure why he's been on edge, but he's almost fully grown now. Can you watch my fish for a minute? Thank you. Also, yes, I am wearing shorts, but I will put on some pants for modesty's sake. As you may already know, one of my goals this year is to read 2 books minimum. I already finished my first one. This is my second book, and I am really struggling to finish it. I've had this book for years, so it's just a plot that I'm struggling to connect with. I'm going to work on not whisper yelling throughout this entire thing. I am not ready, put together at all. It is 10:48 and I have done probably nothing on the grand scale of things besides make breakfast this morning. My husband told me to relax, and that's what I did for 3 hours and decided I had enough. Anyway, I usually record on Tuesdays, but today is Thursday, so I know big changes are being made around here. I have a tattoo machine. I believe the term for someone who has no actual tattoo training is called a scratcher. I do not work on anybody professionally, and I pretty much only do it to my husband. I've done it to myself, and I've decided to never do that again. Never had a problem, a reaction, anything like that. I would much rather pay a professional, and if you're considering getting a tattoo, I suggest you get it done by someone who has training. I have a little electric machine. It's nothing, you can get it on Amazon. I was passionate about tattooing 2 years ago, I think. And ever since then, my husband has been really supportive, and he supports everything that I do, and I'm very lucky to have that. My problem is I tend to give up on things really easily, especially if I'm not good at them. I would consider myself a medium perfectionist. And last night, my husband wanted me to do a tattoo on him, and it's actually line art for a bigger tattoo that he wants me to do. And we've run into this thing every single time I pull out the tattoo machine. I get overwhelmed, I start crying, it's terrible. It's like, it's the worst thing ever, and we go through it every single time that tattoo machine comes out. You know, I don't want to ruin his body. I've done 2 on him previously, and those have turned out completely fine. One of them is finished. It's not, you know, the best work ever, but he's happy with it. There's one on his leg that I will never be able to finish because we learned pretty quickly that his pain tolerance needs work, and then he wanted me to do a chest piece. So that is what I started working on a couple weeks ago. I did line art for one side, and last night we were doing the line art for the other side. The machine wasn't cooperating, his skin wasn't cooperating, we were running into the same things. The saving grace of the day was that I was able to get the stencil on correctly, because that's what made me lose my mind the first time. Because it does have to be perfectly mirrored, and I just couldn't do it. And the machine I have for printing the stencils and the app that I have, it's a mess. You know, we got it done the first time. Last night, I did what I could because I knew that I was not going to get the stencil on again. And we had to take a break because I was getting mad at the machine, I was getting mad at his skin. I can't promise that it's not me, because I think part of it is me, for sure. I'm not trained, I have a crappy machine, but I did not do anything differently than the first time when I had no issues over here, and then it was going just fine right here, and then just turned to crap this way. I am stretching the skin, I'm doing, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. So we had to take a break, and he's sitting there and he's telling me, you have all these talents, and you do nothing with them. Growing up, I'm still growing, but for this video, growing up, I would draw all the time. And I've just hit a point where I am drawing the same exact thing every single time. And it's unimpressive, it's boring. I have put my sketchbook away. I've had the same sketchbook for 4+ years now. It's not full, it's not done. Drawing is not a passion of mine anymore. Is it because I'm bad? Maybe. Is it because I don't believe that it has potential? Probably. Do I have the resources to get better if I wanted to? Absolutely. But because I'm not taking advantage of those resources, in my mind, that means this isn't something I should pursue. The tattoo thing I was all psyched up about. I practiced a lot. It drove me nuts every single time. I would cry, and then I stopped practicing. I stopped doing it because every single time that tattoo gun came out, I lost my mind. And it's not worth it to me to keep having this battle for something I'm not going to take seriously later down the line. I don't see tattoo artists in my future. I don't. It is spiritually conflicting at times. I understand that the body is a temple. Temples are covered in art, and we do not take this body with us when we go. You need to go to school. You need to get an apprenticeship. You need hazardous waste classes and stuff. That's great. That's expensive. That's not something I have time for, and that's not something I'm going to pursue seriously. That's fine. So I sort of gave up on that too. The one thing that has really inspired me to completely pick up and try something new is the aqua show that we saw on our honeymoon on the cruise, called Hero, Hiro. And they're flipping through the water, they're dancing, they're this and that. That's cool, that's really cool. But I'm really short, and I'm not, oh my gosh, something he said to me the other day that kind of hurt, it kind of stung, and I told him it stung. He said, you are probably the least athletic person I know. And I was like, okay. The full sentence he said was, for someone who played hockey, you're the least athletic person I know. And I think the context was I was trying to catch something and I dropped it. I'm terrible at catching things. I'm terrible at hockey, but I still played. I enjoyed skating. I have never been a competitive person, and I was very young when I did hockey. I was 13 and a freshman in high school at the same time. I was also a girl on a boys hockey team, and I did not do the right things. I did not brush up on the rules of hockey. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and it showed. It really did. I showed up to practice every day, every practice. I was really bad. I was really bad the next day, and I was really bad the next day. But I was in it. I wasn't gonna quit. I stuck to it. even though I was bad. Now, if something isn't a choice that I've made, I don't stick to it. Art is not a career path I chose. Neither is, being a tattoo artist. So I can let that go. Could I have gotten better at hockey if I had used the resources available? Yes. What I'm saying is, YouTube, I had an old channel. It was alright. It wasn't making me any money. I was doing the same video every week. It was boring. I don't want this to be boring. I want this to fulfill the purpose that I want it to fulfill. I enjoy editing. Does it take me a while? Yeah. Do I feel 100% comfortable in front of a camera? No. Am I learning new things? Yes. Am I doing more research every day to make my channel better? I am. I think YouTube is one of the things that I've chosen, and I know that YouTube is a long game. I'm not trying to make money off of this. I have a job. I work 9 to 6 throughout the week, and that job is doing pretty well for me, and I really like it there. It's a hobby that I want to continue, but YouTube was one of the things that my husband brought up yesterday in our conversation, and he goes, even YouTube, you used to enjoy it, and now you don't seem so into it. And I was like, what are you talking about? I posted a video last week, and I'm posting a video this Friday, and I'm like, I'm doing the YouTubes, I promise, I'm doing it. It's like, yeah, but you used to tell me, all these things, the views you were getting, the comments you were getting. And I was like, yeah, that was on my old channel that I deleted. And he's like, yeah, but if it was doing so well, why'd you get rid of it? I'm like, because my priorities have changed. I wanted to focus on the channel with a better message, with a better purpose. The other one wasn't going anywhere. It took me 5 minutes to edit a video. It got to the point where I was putting effort, but pretty minimal effort into each video, which I guess is a great way to push out content and whatever, but that's not what I want to do. I don't know, I'll revisit these topics. It's just on my mind and I needed to vent. There's things that I've stopped pursuing, I'm still interested in, but I know I can't really do seriously. I know I'm still young and I have the time and I should do it while I have the time, but I want to be realistic. I know all things are possible with God, but does God want me to be a water acrobat on a cruise ship? I don't think so. I don't think that's my purpose. You can't go based off what your will is, especially when you think that you're starting something that you're going to pursue, and then eventually you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. You got to do something with a purpose if you want to stick to it. And I guess that's the whole revelation for me. My motivations and things have changed. I am a wife now. I have to look out for my husband. I have to keep a job. I have to do my best at work. I have to do my best with keeping the house clean. I gotta keep the pets healthy. I do a lot, and sometimes, some days, especially in the last phase of the month, I get tired, I'm irritable, I start crying when I'm giving my husband a tattoo. But it's not all for nothing. They're a part of my life, They bring so much to me, actually. Even my fish. We chose to have this house. Well, let me backtrack. God blessed us with this house, and I want to keep it clean. I think that pursuing every little interest is expensive, might even be a waste of time, and a waste of sanity. I've got all these other things that I need to worry about that I'm stuck with. I don't need to keep adding things to my plate. I don't have to. If I want to draw, I'll pick up my sketchbook and I'll draw the same stupid thing I've been drawing for 15 years. I'm not 15. I'll put the sketchbook back. I'll pick up my Nintendo Switch and I'll game for a little bit. But I'm not going to spend hours on the game because I have life outside of pixels. And if I don't want to film a YouTube video, I'm not going to. Because if there's no passion or purpose in it, I'm not gonna make it and I'm not gonna put it out on YouTube because this is for my family. It's not for money, it's not for the algorithm, but I'm still doing it. I don't even know how much of this conversation is going into the video. It is 11:11 now. I think it was 10:48 when I first started yapping. So my plans for today, I want to go to the gym. Yesterday I did not want to. Well, I wanted to. I woke up at 5 a.m. I was gonna go. I sat there in bed and I was like, I'm gonna go tomorrow one way or another, so I might as well just wait. So I'm gonna go today. I'm gonna do my best. I'm going to give it my all. Last week my workout was kind of bad, but today I'm hopeful. I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna eat some food, and I'm gonna figure it out. You know, some people take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time. Today I need to take it 1 hour at a time because I gotta figure out what's going on. That was my spiel, my little update. I really hope that this footage doesn't look bad because I'm not saying all that again. So my morning routine is pretty simple. I believe you've seen it about 150 times. Put deodorant on, brush my teeth, put the lotion on my face, and I brush my hair. And then now I have this little lip oil, it's eye oil for my eyelashes because I got them done 2 weeks ago now. They're not holding up too bad, but I really need to brush my hair. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let me just put you right there. Whoop, whoop. So, right, I said deodorant first. Dun, 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 dun. I saw a video, it was like, oh, you're supposed to do roll-on deodorant first and then you do the spray. And I'm like, that's a lot of deodorant. Like, I don't know. I'm showering later anyway. I'm gonna smell bad. I'm going to the gym. Like, I'll keep my distance, you know. I'm not gonna kill anybody, I hope, with my stench. I'm pretty clean. I know my hair is kind of greasy right now, but I'm showering. I am. I know I brush my teeth like a maniac, but I've never had a cavity, so you can take that up with my dentist, which I do not have at the moment. I don't have a dentist. I'll have a dentist, I will, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna brush my teeth. Oh my gosh, that's a whole other thing. I think my wisdom teeth are coming in soon, and I am panicked. I am so scared. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. Like, I know I can find a dentist and I can pay like $400 per tooth. I think that's the going rate right now. It might even be $1,000 per tooth. I don't know. I'm terrified. I don't want teeth pulled out of my face. I lost my first baby tooth when I was 8 years old. Like, even my baby teeth didn't want to leave my face. You know, it's a whole body, keep the teeth in there as much as possible thing, which is great, but I don't know if I have the mouth space for 4 extra teeth. I don't know. And the last time that I had a dentist before he decided to commit was, I don't know, they did an x-ray and they said my wisdom teeth were growing that way, not up. Not, thankfully not inward, but not up, not forward, that way. Out of my face. I am yelling. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so freaked out because if my teeth start popping up on the side of my mouth, it's over. It's over. And I'm like shaking in my boots. I am. My little boots that I'm not even wearing because they ran away. They're so scared, you know? Those boots were made for walking, but they ran. That's how scared they were. And like, I'm not ready. And I you know, I gotta ask my parents what they went through with the wisdom teeth. Because I think my dad got his removed, but I don't know if my mom ever had to get hers removed. I'm sure everybody does, unless they have a gigantic mouth, but I mean, I have a gigantic mouth because I talk so much. But as far as teeth space goes, I think we're running out. I think we're turning into Florida. You know, we're running out of space. We're overpopulated enough as it is. Oh boy, I am yammering. Yeah, but the other week, they were hurting just a little bit, and just on this side of my face. And then the pain went away, and I was like, oh, thank the Lord above, because I was not ready. I'm still not, as you can clearly tell. I am not ready for the teeth to come out of my face. I'm not. I'm petrified. This past weekend was Easter. It is April 9th right now. But yeah, Easter, I hosted for the first time. I cooked one meal. They brought fruits and vegetables as I requested. I also provided dessert and drinks and stuff. It was very calm, very simple. I really like small get-togethers. I really, big groups of people we already know I don't like. We already know that. If you watched my last video, you know that I don't like crowded areas, big groups of people, even if it's my family. I love y'all, but it's not you, it's the amount of you. Just, find me a corner, find me an animal to pet, and I'll be fine. It's just, I don't know, it's me. And I have a very social job, so you'd think that I'm fine with meeting new people, and I am. I usually work with 1 to 2, maybe even 1 to 3 people at a time, but that's about it. Like, I work with, the room that I'm in only has 3 people in it, and then the other room has 2. Sometimes there's 2 more, so that's 7 people in a general vicinity at one point, and then the customers come in, and then there's 9 or 10 people. Whatever, but 100, 50, 20? I don't know about 20. But I get some people have ginormous families, and that's great for y'all. Y'all get practice with large groups of people. You guys love company. It's great. I'm not gonna say I didn't have a lot of that growing up, but my family was pretty spread out, so I would only see them on Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, stuff like that. My husband, on the other hand, grew up in a household starting with 7 people. 7 people. That's how many people I work with from 9 to 6. And then I go home and it's just me and my husband. He lived with 7 people at a time, year round. So he's better with the large groups of people. And he's Italian, so his family's pretty big outside of that. So I'm working on it. I am. It's a process. But my hair's done. My teeth are clean. I smell like inspiration. And I'm gonna throw my sheets in the wash, put some shoes on, go to the gym. Yeah. Try not to pay too much attention to the crashing and that noise outside. I had a protein bar, I have my water, my keys, my bag, and we're gonna go to the gym, finally. It is 12:06, it's been a minute. But my phone is charged now, so that's all that matters. So I'm just doing a quick warm up on the treadmill before everything. I came here on Monday. I ordered a shake for my husband and I, and I was charged twice. So I came in with the proof. I didn't even have to pull the proof out. They were like, oh yeah, you were. So I wish I hadn't had that protein bar because I'm gonna have a free protein shake when I leave here today. So, oh well. But I'm gonna do this, and I'm still not comfortable filming in this environment, so you probably won't see a lot. Sorry.
While y'all watch me work out, I'm going to tell you the story of the time I had to call the cops at the gym. Not this gym. This actually happened years ago before I moved away. Anywho, There was one day the gym was closing early due to a holiday, and we all had about a half hour left. I was in my heavy lifting era, and I was later approached by a man who said he wanted to talk to me after Planet Fitness closed. And I was very uncomfortable, and like red flags and alarms were going off in my head. So the first thing that I did was headed to the opposite side of the gym, found this group of women. I picked out the one who looked the most like me, and I told her what was going on. I asked her if she could pretend to be my mom, just, before leaving. And she was like, oh yeah, it's no problem. Like, it's such a shame that, we women have to go through this. I was like, great. I waited for her in the locker room, didn't see this woman ever again. So I was preparing for the worst. I have a recording app on my phone. I set that, and sure enough, this guy was waiting for me outside of the locker rooms, and we head towards the door, and I'm just hoping that this isn't going to go as badly as I'm, imagining. I could just be jumping to conclusions, but I am a 17-year-old girl all by herself, many towns over from where I live. This very grown, definitely over 40s man needs to tell me something or whatever. We go outside, and he's like, oh, I just want to tell you, the weight that you're lifting is really impressive. I'm like, oh, thanks. He's like, are you from around here? I'm like, no. He goes, where are you from? I said, south. He's like, where's your car? I said, I don't have a car. He goes, I'll take you home. I said, nope, I have a ride. He goes, no, but I could take you home. I'm like, sir, you don't know where I live. I'm not telling you where I live. No. He goes, well, I got to put my stuff in the back of my car. Just walk with me. I'm like, no. And his car is it's 10 feet from the sidewalk. I'm just standing on the sidewalk pretending to wait for a ride because I don't want him to know that I have a car. And I definitely don't want him to know which one's mine. And he puts his stuff in the trunk. He waves me over to try to get me to come closer to him in the car. And I said, no, I'm going to stay right here. Right here's good. I actually said that out loud. I don't have the recording anymore because it just triggered me so bad. But he came back over. And he's like, what's your name? And I gave him a fake name. He said, how old are you? And I can't remember if I told him if I was younger than I was or if I was older than I was. But whatever I said made him go, oh, we can just be friends then. And this guy was, a very large, muscular dude with a very thick Nigerian accent. And I'm like, I have no desire to be friends with you. I'm sorry, you're out of my age group. Okay, for friendships, okay, I'm not looking for a buddy, okay? I said, hey, I gotta call my ride, whatever. He goes, okay, bye. He says, okay, see you next Tuesday. And I have never spoken to this man before in my life, okay? He knows what days I'm going to the gym. That's bad. So I'm like, okay. I pretend to call my ride. I run into the building, the next building over. I'm watching the window to see when his car leaves, and it's not moving. And one of the managers, saw me acting weird. She walks over to me. She goes, hey, do you need help? I'm like, there's a guy outside. He's trying to get me in his car. I'm just waiting for him to leave. Can you call someone? And there was actually a designated police officer for that area. And so she called him. The police officer parks in front of the building, and that is when the man's car starts moving. So the man's car leaves the parking lot, and I point out the car to the officer, and I said, hey, that's his car. Here's the situation. I gave the officer my name, my phone number. I gave him the recording, everything. And he's like, well, good job giving him a fake name and blah, blah, blah. That's really creepy. And then all of us, me, the manager, and the officer, all saw this guy drive back into the parking lot. turn around and go all the way back out when he realized that the police officer hadn't left. And at this point, my car was the only one left in the parking lot. And I was like, well, now he knows what my car looks like. The officer escorted me to my vehicle, and I did not go straight home. I went to a separate area. I parked. I made sure that the guy's car was not anywhere in the area, wasn't coming into the area, nothing like that. And then I went home, and I didn't mention anything. I didn't say a word to anybody. You know, my friends knew what had happened because I called them. But when I got home to my dad, I didn't tell him what happened. This was a couple years ago. I just told him about it yesterday. I think I was scared that he wasn't going to let me go to the gym, or that it would somehow be my fault that this happened, and I didn't want to deal with it. At that time, I was also moving out in like a month, so like I didn't think it mattered, but you know, he's my dad and he loves me, and when he heard that story, he was speechless. He didn't know what to say because that had happened and he had no idea. So, I feel bad. But moral of the story is, don't tell him your name, don't tell him where you're from, lie about your age, get out of there, call the cops. That's all I'm saying. Memorize the car, the license plate, look out for yourself. Okay, so my gym does shakes. You saw the little cup, right? I struggled through that little cup, and now I have this to finish as well. It doesn't taste bad. It does not taste bad. That is not why I'm gonna struggle. I didn't know if I liked guava juice or not, or guava, or whatever the heck that is. I didn't know if I liked it. Thought I'd give it a try. It tastes fine. It's fruity. It's great. The flavor is actually not that bad. It's fine. It's fine. Sorry. I don't know. I struggled through the little one. It was like so cold. I think it was because I was inside, but it's actually fine right now that I'm sweating in the car. The workout was not, 100% super awesome, but I did everything I guess I wanted to do. I've been here for an hour. Could I do more? Yeah. Do I want to? Not really. Am I gonna beat myself up for not? No. Because I can remain active at home. I did, my full body. I ended it with Bulgarian split squats, which is probably why I wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. But yeah, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna make food and then do some chores, I guess, and then try to figure some things out. I'm also gonna edit. I have a video coming out tomorrow, so I'm gonna do that. Also, just kidding, I'm not gonna do that. So I am home, and I've decided that I'm not gonna make food. I'm gonna wait until dinner. I had the protein shake, and I also had the protein bar before I went to the gym because I didn't know how this was gonna go. And I am currently calorie counting. Not super strict on it. I've been eating a lot this past week because of Easter, but I am not starving. I still gotta finish this, and then once I'm done with this, I'll be busy, I'll be occupied. I gotta edit, I'm gonna shower, and then before I know it, my husband will be home and I'll be making dinner, so I'll be fine. Wow, guava is a crazy thing, and it keeps separating because it's taking me so long to finish this. It's good though, it really is. No complaints. So, hey. I've been sitting here for 20 minutes, but I finally finished this shake. Oh my gosh. It was good. It's good. They're just, I don't know what's in them. If this was any other drink, it would take me 5 seconds. But no, for some reason, no. Anyway. Look how cute my baby is. I promise I am going to shower. I am. But I just checked. I've been waiting on a package for a little while. It feels like forever because I've been waiting. So first I had to wait for this thing to become available, and then I bought it the day it became available, and I've been waiting for it to show up since.
I think it's outside. Just give me 1 second. It's here. It's here. It's here. Oh my gosh. Joey, it's here. Joey, the thing we've been waiting for, it's here.
Hey, so I did not film an outro for this as usual. I also did not film an unboxing of the thing I got in the mail, but that is him, and he is editing this video for me. So I love you. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.